and the omnibus. So I was forced into the Archers when I was a child. And look, it's come back to bite me later on. I'm awash with this stuff.
The Archers is the world's longest-running radio show, with more than 15,000 episodes broadcast. Despite being a rural flavor show, The Archers is recorded in the heart of...
Welcome to the Deep Dive. We sift through your sources to bring you the sharpest insights and unexpected facts.
Yeah, definitely.
Today, we're doing something a little bit different. We're actually diving into an audio excerpt.
Right, from The Archers, the radio drama.
Exactly. And this piece, it's from August 2025, and it gives us this surprisingly rich window into everyday life, you know? Relationships, community stuff.
And our mission here really is to kind of pull out the key bits of knowledge from what seem like, you know, just ordinary chats.
Yeah.
What can listening closely to these characters really tell us about, say, human connection or the tricky parts of communicating?
Or just how communities work, the whole intricate web.
Yeah, it's amazing what you can find when you tune in properly.
Okay, so let's start unpacking this. We kick off with Martin Gibson. He's clearly in that awkward early phase with Marlene.
Right, the are we official stage.
Yeah, he's asking his mate Jazzer, you know, should I actually ask her or does it just sort of happen?
He doesn't want to seem stuffy, he says.
Yeah.
But you can feel his uncertainty, can't you?
Oh, definitely. And what's fascinating here, I think, is that tension. It really lays bare this modern conflict, doesn't it?
Between wanting things to be easy, organic.
And that deep down human need for clarity, for knowing where you stand, it creates anxiety. And Martin's planning, which we hear about next, it almost feels like he's trying to, you know, control the uncontrollable bits of starting something new.
And he is planning meticulously. This double date with Jazzer and Tracy at the bowl, it's all mapped out.
Yeah, the time.
Meet at 7 over for drinks, table booked for 7.30, starters ordered for about 7.45.
He's really put thought into it. You can tell he's invested.
But still, that self-doubt creeps in. He actually asks Jazzer, why would a woman like Marlene like me?
It's quite poignant, really, and it contrasts so sharply with how Jazzer and Tracy are feeling about the whole thing.
Oh yeah, they are not keen.
Not at all. Tracy says she's dreading every minute, even though she's trying to be graceful.
And Jazzer flat out says he'd rather just be going out with Tracy.
And their whole brainstorming session for escape plans? You know, the kids are in danger, a bomb in my cellar.
It's funny, but it also shows something important, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Highlights that sort of unseen social labor, the effort we put in for friends.
Just showing up, even when you'd rather not. Sacrificing your own comfort, that's real support.
Yeah, exactly.
But then, despite all Martin's careful planning, well, it all goes wrong.
Right. Marlene's late, like really late, almost an hour.
And you hear Martin getting more and more worried, trying to call her, pacing.
And then boom, Tracy gets the message.
Marlene's not coming. Cold feet.
And the reason, or at least the suspected reason, that's where it gets messy.
Yeah, Tracy admits she might have, well, maybe given Marlene the wrong impression.
Implied Martin was still on the rebound from Pat, even though she thought she was painting a fond picture.
Fond picture.
Yeah, and saying Martin was growing on her.
Which prompts Jazzer's absolutely classic line.
No, like a mold. Brutal, but maybe kind of accurate in how it landed.
It just shows how easily things get twisted, doesn't it? How someone else's perception, even a well-meaning one, can just derail everything.
Especially when past relationships are involved. Those shadows can linger.
So Martin's absolutely gutted. He just says, it's over.
Total devastation.
But what happens next is, I think, really telling.
Yeah, the immediate reaction from Jazzer and Tracy.
No judgment. No, I told you so.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
practical comfort.
Right, let's ditch the fancy dinner plans. Let's get kebabs.
Something cheap and cheerful. Our treat. Large chips included.
It makes you think, doesn't it, about how crucial that kind of immediate, simple support is when things fall apart.
Yeah.
Martin himself says, I've never been more grateful to have friends. It really underlines that sometimes it's not big speeches or grand gestures.
It's just being there.
Yeah.
Offering food. Company. The basic.
Exactly. The quiet presence. That's often what matters most.
Okay, so from that really raw moment, the focus shifts.
Mm.
We move to Linda Snell.
Ah, Linda. A proper pillar of the Ambridge community.
Definitely. Involved in everything. We hear about her storing industrial amounts of toilet roll for the village shop.
Which she apparently resented at first, complaining about how many boxes Neil would bring round.
But then, twist. She actually needed an emergency roll herself that very morning.
It's a perfect little illustration of community reciprocity, isn't it?
How so?
Well, these small contributions, the things we might grumble about doing for the collective good,
Yeah.
they often come back to benefit us personally, sometimes in really unexpected, mundane ways, like kneading loo roll.
It's true. And Linda admits, despite being busy, she wouldn't have it any other way. She's also organizing the Flower and Produce Show.
Right, and it's got a new venue this year, Grey Gables.
Which means she's collaborating with Drawing, who manages the place.
And apparently after a slightly fractious start, they're actually making rather a good team.
But then Lillian chimes in, teasing Linda.
Oh yeah, saying the WI needs to up their game for the posh county set at Grey Gables.
Suggesting they'll need fine champagne and fancy orbs instead of the usual scones and tea.
It's playful, but it touches on something real, I think, if you connect it to the bigger picture.
Go on.
It's that classic tension many communities face, right? How do you stay true to your traditions, that the finest Ambridge tradition, as Linda puts it, while also adapting or appealing to new people, new venues?
Yeah, how do you innovate without losing your identity?
Exactly. And Linda's response is quite firm, isn't it? We do things our way, and people can love it or leave it.
It speaks volumes about local pride, maybe a bit of stubbornness too.
But also strength, knowing who you are as a community.
And interestingly, Linda has this moment of self-reflection about her own management skills.
Yeah, that was quite striking. She realizes she's not infallible.
Prompted by Akram. Apparently there was a coolness from him because she forgot to thank him for something.
So she decides to actually write a list of people to thank on an index card, to make sure she doesn't miss anyone again.
Even after decades of organizing events.
It's a great point about leadership, isn't it? That humility. Realizing you can always learn, always adjust.
And it shows how much feeling unappreciated can sting. That coolness obviously had an impact.
Definitely. Acknowledgement really matters.
Okay, let's head back to the bowl. The pub atmosphere is buzzing, lots of crosstalk.
And more layers are revealed here. Misunderstandings, worries.
Like the misplaced rumor about Linda. Brian pokes up, surprised about her plans to leave the village.
And Linda's like, what? No, I was joking.
Yeah, joking after she'd upset Akram.
And Lillian just casually says, I knew you weren't listening to me properly, to Brian.
Classic. It just shows how fast things travel in a village, doesn't it? And how easily a joke gets turned into fact.
The grapevine effect, especially potent in close-knit places.
But beneath the surface chat, Linda's got a genuine worry about Robert.
He's away in London, dealing with a lot, caring for Leonie, driving Mango to football.
And Linda senses this coolness between them. She's offered to help, even go down there.
But he keeps pushing back, saying he's fine, even though she says talking to her feels like a duty for him.
That's tough.
It really highlights that emotional labor again, doesn't it, within a relationship, especially under stress.
And it raises that question. How do you support someone who's insisting they don't need it?
Even when you can clearly see they're struggling. Robert's "I'm fine" is such a common defense mechanism.
Linda's persistence, but also her respect for his boundaries. It's a tricky balance.
It shows that deep care, even when it's not being easily received.
And amidst all this, you still get that fantastic village banter.
Oh yeah, the lighthearted stuff,
Wow.
like deciding who should leave the village.
Brian jokingly votes for Linda because she took the last custard slice.
While Jazzer sheepishly admits he probably should have been chased out years ago for the whole poisoning the ant incident.
That old story. And Lillian getting a dig in at Linda about her smoking.
Lying to yourself doesn't count. Sharp as ever, Lillian.
It's that mix, isn't it? Teasing, shared history, gentle digs.
It really shows the strength of the bonds there. They know each other's flaws and stories inside out.
And even with serious worries bubbling under it, like Brian admitting he's very worried about the farm.
There's still this collective feeling, this reassurance. People believe figures like Brian will pull through.
Yeah, that he'll rise like a phoenix from the ashes.
It speaks to the resilience built into these strong communities. They have faith in each other.
And then a final quiet moment. Linda, after confiding in Lillian about her worries with Robert, she just says, please forget I even mentioned it.
That's significant too.
It underscores that delicate balance, even with close friends. Knowing when to share, but also when to ask for discretion, for privacy.
Right. Sometimes the strength in friendship is giving space, letting something rest, not just constant discussion or advice.
That unspoken understanding.
Exactly.
So wrapping this up, what have we really learned from this dip into Ambridge?
Well, I think this deep dive shows that under the surface of just, everyday chat,
There are these really profound lessons about how we communicate or fail to.
about the good and bad of community life, the support, the gossip, the shared history.
And just the sheer resilience of people and their connections.
Yeah. What's really fascinating, I think, is how these specific moments, Martin's dating anxiety, Linda's toilet rolls, Brian's farm worries, the pub banter, they all echo universal human experiences, don't they?
Absolutely.
It really makes you think, how much hidden stuff, unspoken dramas, meaningful little moments are happening all around us in our own lives.
Just waiting to be noticed if we actually stop and listen closely enough.
Exactly. If we choose to unpack the mundane.
So, what are you doing now?
Just getting ready for the next episode. Just moving mics around.
So, what do you do?
I do the spot effects on the arches. Any
Are you what we
movements
call Foley then?
and- kind of. Yep. That's,
Okay. And these are all part of the paraphernalia of production.
yep. That's the ball bar. That's.
This one.
Yep. That's.
Haley so wanted to be in their own place when their baby came. It's due in 2 months. Not much chance of that now. No. I mean, it would have been a stretch for them financially, mind, but I just wish there was something practical I could do to help them, Caroline.
I think The Archers has had this immense popularity over the years, basically because it has always very accurately reflected the reality of life and living in a rural community at whatever